If you're seeing this, then this is your Tarot Tuesday messages. Hi, I'm Lara, and we're going to take a look at the next 7 days coming up. It's been a little intense, hasn't it? But we are moving into a new month, new energy. There's a lot of things that's happening. You know what the good news is? March is over. March is over. It was some really crazy astrology for March, and we did it. We're here. We made it. Looks like you made it. So, yes, we're going to use our oracle and our tarot cards and take a look at what we have coming up over the next 7 days. These next 7 days are April 1st through the 7th. Very first 7 days and of a new month. And if you're seeing this and it's around the 1st or any time in that week, amazing. If not, it doesn't really matter. These messages were meant to find you when they find you. So you can trust that it is a message you maybe need to hear, but you'll know the best. You know what's for you and what's not. These are general readings, so not everything is for everybody, but take what you like. Leave the rest. You don't need to take it with you if it's not yours. It might be for somebody else. So, and time is not linear. So what we're talking about is the overall energy that we're all underneath during this particular moment in time, April 1st through the 7th, 2025, by the way. But if that's not where you are, it's possible these themes, patterns, energies have come up for you for whatever reason. So, we'll take a look into it. A little bit about the astrology of what's happening. So at the end of last week on Saturday, the 29th, we had the new moon in Aries. Are you exhausted? I am. This also, I didn't realize when I made the video for the full moon reading or last week's Tarot Tuesday, I didn't realize that this is like kind of a once in a lifetime new moon with the eclipse that was happening. Supermoon eclipse, something. Anyway, it was a lot of energy. So, and also just in general, the Schumann resonance energy has been crazy lately. I think it's at 7.38 on the Schumann resonance scale, which is the measurement of frequencies of different beings, basically. So a human can have its own Schumann resonance. Your consciousness has a Schumann resonance, but also the earth itself. So the resonance of the earth is a lot of this. So underneath that energy, you may have gotten a lot of downloads. Maybe you were absolutely exhausted. You might have been exhausted because you were getting information coming in from the top. That was a lot in our reading, actually. Wow. Okay. So that would be why. But our new moon reading talked about integrating information coming down and grounding it into reality. So there you go. Did you do your grounding? But where we're starting the week is also a couple days after Neptune has shifted into Aries. Neptune moving into Aries is kind of a big deal because the outer planets are generational planets. So they affect more of the collective consciousness. Neptune also is water, dreams. It's, it rules Pisces, which is very like subconscious, collective unconscious, all of that stuff just underneath the deep, that shadow. And we were in Pisces until a couple days ago, and now we're in Aries. Neptune hasn't been in Aries since 1861. It was in Aries from 1861 to 1875. And in 1861 is when the Civil War started in the United States. Is it making sense? So we can expect some tensions with the energy being in Pisces. That was, that can toe the line of imagination as well. So, one person was saying, like, we saw the rise of social media with Neptune and Pisces, and we are seeing towards the end of it, these like how it was carefully curated. So it really blurs that line between what's real and what's presented to you through a carbon copy marketing plan or what have you. Is anyone who they say they are? And that's what Neptune is. Neptune is about identity. So being in Aries, it's going to be really interesting because Aries is already very independent and individual in its own. It's going to bring up probably a lot of conflicts and challenges, but also it will challenge us to step more into our authenticity and lead the way with knowing very clearly who we are, and moving forward in the direction that we want to go, that we're being called to go. So this is kind of a big thing. It just moved into Aries. It's going to be here for a little bit. Then it's going to retrograde back. I think in July, it's retrograding back into Pisces for a little while. And then it will eventually, I think it's going to go back and forth. And then it's going to finally station direct in Aries in January. So it's going to be interesting. The show is just getting started, kids. So, and on top of that, we also have Mercury and Venus still in retrograde, but here's the good news. Mercury is coming out of retrograde. I think it's on April 7th. We still will have the shadow phase for a couple weeks probably, but Mercury will be going direct again. And then not too much longer after that, like a week or so, not even a week, April 12th, then Venus is going to be stationing direct as well, which is good because I can use a break. But a couple more weeks, there will, again, for Venus, be a little shadow period as well. So continuing to work with those themes around the retrospective, the ways in which we communicate, and the ways in which we are, who we are in our relationships. Because again, this is all dealing with a Aries Libra connection from the new moon that we just had. Does that make sense? So yeah, we'll see what happens. What else? I think that's kind of it for our week. If I missed anything, we'll talk about it next week in our next video. So what do you say? Let's go ahead and jump in. We've got the usual suspects here, our Oracle of Mystical Moments. Let's see if we can please, very quickly. We have a card to pick up on our themes. Interesting. So we have Lorelai, this little mermaid. She has her boat in tow, her fin in the water, creating some light waves there. Let's see what the book says about Lorelai. Yes, okay. So, right, because she's holding on to this anchor here. So she is all about power, responsibility, fate, and grace. A mermaid sits on a rock and gazes toward the ocean. A small ship floats nearby, connected with her through a rope. She has the power to decide the destiny of the ship and the fate of the crew. With a flick of her wrist, she could toss the ship against the shore, or she could let it continue its journey. What will the mermaid decide to do? She has suffered great loss in her own life. Will she continue the cycle of pain, or will she allow healing and grace to calm the waters? So, feeling like this is also speaking to taking responsibility for our past, responsibility for ourselves and our actions, but also maybe like in what's come up within our reflections over the last few weeks, because we've had so much in retrograde. And how do we handle that with grace? Mm, that kind of makes sense for me with the air, all the Aries energy. Maybe this is talking about like watching where we're reactive and impulsive. We did talk about recently big decisions, not being impulsive and making decisions for like the longer term under this energy, the Aries energy. So, okay, interesting. Let's see if we have some spicy oracle here. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have, too bad you're not single. And oh, the anticipation. It may feel like there's responsibilities that you currently have that maybe you feel tied down by. We do have this, she is in control of where this ship is going. This could be you, or this could be you. It's also about power. Power greater than you, power out of your control, or power within your control. With great power comes great responsibility. Okay. So it's like, too bad you're not single. Oh, the anticipation. But there still is something that is moving forward with oh, the anticipation. Maybe you feel like you could move forward quicker without whatever this is that you feel tethered to, or that you feel is sort of like controlling your situation. Okay. And I'm seeing this too, because we still have a couple weeks of this retrograde, that this is being revealed for you for a very specific purpose. I'm just like really getting that sense from what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and pull a few cards, some tarot cards. All right. Could we please have 3 cards just to take a look at what is going on for all of us? Thank you. There's 1, there's 2. Over the next 7 days. And that's number 3. Thank you. Whoa! Whoa! Uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. Aha. Uh-huh. Huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's start here with our shadow card. We love to see it. We love to see it. Shadow cards representing our subconscious. This is the energy that's just underneath the surface. It's driving everything that's happening in our world. So we have the magician. The magician is a card of power. It is, the magician has everything that they need to create what they desire, right? This is manifesting intent, like putting the intention in manifestation process, the creator of your destiny. There's an element here too of this, what's being created in this position here is you can barely see it. There's like this energy stream here coming from a higher place in this manifestation process. So this is really good, powerful energy. And what we have behind that is the energy of the King of Wands. Again, this is like about transformation, transmutation, both of these cards. I'm getting a lot of like, as far as like the fiery energy, the Aries energy with the King of Wands here. The King of Wands is action oriented. He goes out and gets what he needs. And I think this really is about balancing. There's this really powerful energy, very capable, powerful energy. But then we have the 9 of Cups in the reverse position. The 9 of Cups speaking about emotional fulfillment, success. What are you going after? And is it what is actually going to bring you this success, recognition, fulfillment? And the 8 of Wands is still indicating, or that you're not happy with what you've already created. That's another, that there's an option too. For some of us, it will be that. It's like you've tapped into this power, but what has been coming forward is still like, I got this job, but it's not lighting me up, right? It feels unaligned, even if I'm getting the paycheck, and I don't feel like I'm going in the direction that I want to go with the Eight of Wands in reverse. But I think this is all important because you need to be seeing what's not working, because maybe you thought these things would help you, and they are to a certain extent, but it's not the thing, if that makes sense. And it's not actually driving you towards where you want to be going. But, oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't see this one. And the Tower in reverse, there's still more to be let go. This could also be like disappointment too, that's getting in the way of manifesting this happy ending with the Ten of Cups. There's still more of that. And maybe those disappointments are informing how you're moving to where you want to go. And that's something to be mindful of, right? Why are you doing what you're doing? So how is that showing up for us this week? I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a little uncomfortable this week because we have the Hangman in the reverse position. So I think we're really sort of resisting some sort of shift in perspective that's necessary in order to move beyond this, largely based because there's still a lot of confusion around new ideas, new opportunities. That is keeping you from really grounding yourself and your ideas, your seeds from planting. I think the Magician coming up right underneath the deck in our shadow, I think this is reminding us again that we have the power to create whatever we want when we are moving with a sense of purpose and dignity, with grace, and not charging ahead trying to force things and make them happen. That's the thing to be careful of with this energy this week. Being mindful of where you're trying to force something that's just not working. But also, even with all of this discomfort and the confusion and the things really not taking root, I think this is, that is part of the process. Because again, we're still a couple weeks more, another week and a half-ish, almost 2 of these retrogrades. So I don't think we're out of the woods quite yet. But we do have everything we need to create what we desire. Again, if we're talking about things that are holding us back, you know, the things holding us back, creating this confusion, maybe even sabotaging plans. This could be you for yourself. This could be certain relationships. This could be hanging on to disappointments. I'm hearing, what are you giving your power to? Also, I think it's going to be interesting. This card too is catching my eye, so I'm going to look at it. Oh, secrets. 43 secrets. Let's see what this says, because I don't know why I was supposed to take it, but I did. There's something more here for us. I think there's a little bit more to this message. Ooh, more magic. Magic, mystery, hidden thoughts. A girl on a stool is tall enough to reach the moon. Yes, she is on a stool. She holds a ring of keys in her hand. One of them will fit in the keyhole on the moon's surface. Again, moon, that's like a lot of hidden things. Okay. This card tells us about personal secrets, hidden thoughts, and ideas. Ideas ones keep in their mind. Nobody is able to look inside your head unless you invite them to. You have the power, there's that word again, to decide how much of your thoughts you want to share with others. A little mystery helps keep the magic alive. Okay. So there's something there too. Maybe this is not the time for everybody to know everything about what you're doing. You need to move in a more calculated way and really this shifting perspective. I think this is like really like there's just something that you can't unstick yourself from, that's been really difficult, that's causing a lot of why you feel like you're not moving forward. With the moon in this card, it could be about sort of unlocking more from your subconscious, but also I think it is, not everybody needs to know everything. Maybe that's where some of your power is getting away from you. For whatever that's worth. So, does this make sense? I hope so. That's the message this week. That's what I see. Hopefully you got something out of this. I mean, it doesn't necessarily seem like it's going to be comfortable, but I think, what's coming up is definitely meant to be revealed. I think it's important to remember you're the one who has the magic. And you're the one who is in charge of your life, your destiny. Okay. For whatever that's worth. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I've got. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, subscribe, do all the things. There's a bunch of information below about me or being in touch with me if you want that. It's there for you. And then, otherwise, I just thank you so much for being here. And even if you just got a little something out of it, I hope this helps. We'll see how it goes. I'm right here with you. And with that, I will see you on the other side.